Okay. Hi everyone, it's Ange from Ange RNY here. It's, now I think it's the 16th. Eastern Standard Time, it's August 16th. I'm in Central Time, so it's still August 15th. I'm coming to you with my week 23 post-op. Sorry about my voice. Apparently I'm getting something anyways, laryngitis or sick or I don't know. Start the spiel. I had surgery on March 7th, 2018 at Guelph General Hospital in Guelph, Ontario, Canada with Dr. Jules Foutain-Long. My highest weight was 343.6 pounds in March of 2017. My surgery weight was 316.4 pounds, and my current weight is 249.2 pounds. So for my high weight, that is a loss of 94.4 pounds. For my surgery weight, that is a loss of 67.2 pounds. And for my week 22, it is a loss of 4 ounces. I don't know what's going on. There was a couple of days where I didn't get much sleep, which can be a factor in how much weight you lose, but I figured it was something that was over time and wouldn't affect the weight loss so quickly. But I guess it does, because there was a few days where I got maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep while we were down here last week. I'm sitting in Cedar Rapids, Iowa right now. We're in the process of trying to negotiate for the house, so we decided to leave our phones on this time around so that we could be available if the brain fart. The guy that sells the houses, I can't remember the word for it, as silly as that sounds. It's like 12:15 at night, and I'm getting sick, so got a little bit of brain fog going on. The real estate agent, that's the word. I knew it would come to me. So we're waiting to see if he calls while we're down here, and we wanted to make sure that we were available in case he did. So I haven't been logging my food. I've been eating more intuitively this week. And I don't know if it's become habit. I think I may have a few issues that I'm picking up on, so hopefully I can stop. One thing that I have never done was gotten down the habit of eating slower and taking, a half an hour at least to eat my meals. I usually will finish a meal within 10 to 15 minutes at the most, which is not good, because and the reason why I think it's not good is because I feel like because I'm eating so fast, I'm able to eat more than I really should be eating, and therefore eating too much for what I really truly need. So I'm effectively not eating until I'm satisfied. I'm eating until I'm full. That is another thing that I have been noticing this week, is that I'm eating until I'm full. And I'm eating until, for the most part, I feel full. Remember how if you like Chinese food, you used to go to a Chinese buffet, or, well, down in the States, there's more home cooked food buffets and whatnot. Sorry, the guy beside me just climbed in his truck and he's leaving. But he's been glancing over at me. I don't want him to see I'm talking. I've been eating until I feel like that. And like, for example, it's mostly just salads and stuff. But for example, I can get in 1.5 to 2 cups of salad. And I think that's because, one, I'm eating too fast, and two, I'm feeling this overwhelming need, and it's something that I haven't been paying attention to eat until I'm full instead of satisfied. So those are two really big problems that I need to correct. Because one thing as bariatric patients that we're supposed to do is make sure that we get our vitamins. Another thing is our water. Another thing is our protein. And then everything after that. And I watched somebody's video and they said pretty much as an RNY patient or a bariatric patient that you could live and survive off of protein, water, and your supplements. That you really don't need anything else purely because of your supplements, because you're getting all the things you would have gotten from everything else from your supplements. You don't get protein from your supplements though. So I tend to agree with that. So I need to work on slowing down my eating because I'm very consistent with my supplements, though the last week has been very hectic. So there have been a few days where last week where I missed the last dose of my calcium and vitamin D pills. It's not great, but as long as it's not on a regular basis, it shouldn't affect me too negatively. And it's not on a regular basis. I mean, it was 3 days last week, but that just tells me that I have to pay more attention. And last week was just all completely up in the air for sleep and for running and doing the things that we were doing. So again, I need to start paying attention to eating slower. It's something that I have tried to do since surgery and have not been able to consistently do because I keep forgetting. And a lot of times I'm eating while I'm driving because we do run very hard. We do run 24/7. We don't stop to eat our meals for the most part. Sometimes we do. The other thing is I don't measure out my food. I was, but now I'm just eyeballing it. So I think I need to go back to measuring out my food again. so that I can be consistent. And when I'm measuring out my food, I need to be sticking to protein, I think, for a little while. Or at least concentrating on protein. Because obviously I didn't get myself into the habit of doing that, even though I do consistently get my protein. I've had, in the truck anyways, I've had trouble with it over the last 5.5 months when I go home, but I am doing better with it when I'm going home. I'm making a conscious effort to make sure that I do get in the proper amount of protein. Now, that being said, I'm not measuring out my meals. So I'm not, even though I've been logging them in MyFitnessPal, I'm logging them based on something that I've eyeballed, not weighed or measured. That doesn't necessarily have a specific portion size attached to it. So, like when I eat my salad, I've been eating a lot more lettuce in my salad, which helps to bring it to the 1.5 or 2 cups that I have been eating. Also, I haven't been measuring my chicken for the most part. I just do it half a chicken breast. Lately, I've been upping it to a full chicken breast, but a smaller one. And that is something that was a bad thing for me in the past, was overeating. It would have been nothing for me to sit down and have a full meal and then an hour or 2 later stuff my face again. And it feels like that's what I'm starting to do again, and I really want to get away from that. And that, sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I'm trying to collect my thoughts. So pretty much what I've been thinking of doing is either going back to the start and starting on a liquid diet again and doing that for a week or 2, and then progressing into soft foods and then regular foods, to kind of reset everything, and to try and maybe circumvent what I have been doing, so that maybe I can get back on track with eating slower and eating the smaller portions and measuring out my portions. It's a lot harder in the truck too, because I mean, when we're in the truck, and I'm not making excuses, so please don't get me wrong, but when we're in the truck, it's easier to just slap a meal together and eat it, because the truck is constantly moving. It's not as easy to weigh everything, most definitely, because the scale, when it bounces around, shifts the number that is actually being weighed, so you have to actually be stationary to get an accurate weight with the food scale. And I can measure, like I have measuring cups in here, and we don't even use them. So I don't want to do necessarily a pouch reset, but I do need to reset my habits, and I do need to reset the way that I have been eating and the amount that I have been eating. For the most part, restriction's never been a problem for me. I don't know why. Because I definitely do have restriction. I know it's there. But a lot of times I don't feel it. And I don't know. I mean, like, I listen to my body and I try and pay attention for it. And sometimes I do pass my husband the rest of my dinner because my restriction has kicked in and I feel extremely full. And he, it may be something as simple as he's given me a 3/4 cup serving of chili, and I will get halfway through it, and then my restriction kicks in. So I don't know what else to do because I can't go through a second month. Because I mean, like, I've got you guys that watch my videos and that comment on my videos, and I mean, I can put stuff on Instagram and I will get a response back, and there are supportive people on there. But I don't want to be negative, and I don't want to bring anybody down, even though I know that you guys will support me. So I'm not saying that I have to do this on my own, but I do need to do it on my own because I need to learn that I can do these things and I can stop myself. I think that's the only way I will be able to get over whatever eating disorders I do have. And I mean, I have my husband's help, but it's only to a certain degree. Because he forgets. And that's okay, because this is my issue, not his. I mean, the other day he gave me a cup of chili, and he gave me a cup of chili that he would have given me 100 pounds ago before surgery. So we eat out of red Solo cups, and they fit about 2 cups of food, because that's easiest to eat out of in the truck. You don't spill things. It makes the perfect bowl, really. And he gave me a cup full of chili because he forgot. We were watching a movie and whatever, and he just forgot, and that's fine. But I reminded him I don't eat that much anymore. It's just a waste giving you this much, because if you don't eat it, then it gets thrown out. So I don't know what to do. But I think I don't know whether to go back to liquid or just to go to soft food. The other thing I've been thinking of doing is just sticking to just protein-based. So like cheeses and yogurts and cottage cheese and meats. And keeping the veggies out for a few weeks so that I don't have the bulk, but I have the density that you get from protein. But I don't know if I should maybe reset my pouch and try and reset my restriction first before I do that. Because I wouldn't be surprised okay, you can't stretch out. A lot of people think you can, but you can't stretch out your pouch. There's not enough of your stomach there to actually stretch it out the way that you could stretch out your stomach, or the way that you could possibly stretch out a sleeve, because more of your stomach is there. Um, there's not enough elasticity in your pouch. What you can do is stretch your stoma, which allows you to eat more food over the long run, and that is why when we're first newly post-op, we can only eat so little, and then over time we gradually eat more and more and more and more, up until the point where 5 or 10 years out from surgery you can sit down to a full plate of food like you could before surgery. And I think I may have done that. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's just in my head and whatever. But yeah. Oh my God. 21-minute video. Sorry about the length. I just I think I needed to talk this out rather than think it out, and talk it out with people who have been or are in the same situation as I am, because I can talk to my husband, most definitely, and he understands, but I don't think he understands as well as he would if he were in the same position. Because I didn't fully understand it till I was here. So, yeah. I'm gonna do something. I don't know what. I'll probably let you guys know next week what I've decided to do. For now, I think I'm just gonna stick to protein sources and see how I do with that, and kick the vegetables and the bulk out for now. At least until we go home. Today is my anniversary. It's our 3rd wedding anniversary. So this weekend is actually going to be kind of hard because my husband is taking me out on Saturday. We're going for a bike trip, just a small one, up through Algonquin Park. It's just a few hours north of us. And we're going to cut back through Algonquin Park, and then we're going to stay in a hotel overnight and be a married couple. And we're also going to get our we're going to get wedding ring tattoos on Friday. So yeah. So he's going to stop every few hours for me so that I can make sure I get my water in, so that I can make sure I get my protein in and whatnot. And we'll see how I do. But anyways, in the meantime, you all have a great week. I'm hoping I come back to you next week with better loss. I'm hoping that I can get this kicked, because I thought I got the stall broken, but I don't know if this is a stall. I don't think it is, but my body is definitely slowed right down for some reason or another. And I wouldn't doubt that I have been overeating. I haven't been logging all week. I need to start logging again and really paying attention and doing all the things that I talked about. So anyways, again, you guys all have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care. Thanks. Bye.